Hey, what's up car fans and fellow dreamers out there? It's one of those rare winter days where it's not freezing cold and it's not pissing it down. So it's time for a video on the 5 things every petrolhead hates about driving in the winter. Let's get right into it and let's start talking about the dirt and grime that is like caked all over the roads at the moment and what that means for your car. Well, even my simple 5-minute commute to work means my car goes from nice and clean to absolutely caked in the stuff. It's disgusting and it mostly clumps over the back of your car, all around your rear arches. Combined with a bit of brake dust, your car just looks disgusting no matter how much you wash it. I don't think the camera will do it justice, just how disgusting it is, but this horrible like grit and salt is all over the back of my car, all the way down the logo, and this is only after about a 5-10 minute drive. Then if we come down and look at the rear wheels, it's all over the wheel itself. And last but not least, all the dirt, grime and grit down the side of the car. Not to mention the disgusting brake dust covered, dirt covered front wheels. And to make the whole situation worse, they're now spreading grit and salt on the motorways. I drove past one of the gritters, was it 2-3 days ago now, and it's about 100,000 billion tiny little stones twatting your windscreen and your paintwork at 70 miles an hour, which was not a fun experience, but fuck you, road networks. Number 2 is a pretty big one. So if you're like me and over the summer you did lots and lots of spirited driving, you probably have very little tyre tread left. At the moment I've got 1/2 mil of usable tread, which is pretty pathetic. So that means at the moment I'm getting a lot of understeer, I'm wheel spinning every time I try to set off in the wet more or less, and grip is becoming very questionable, which kind of sucks, especially as the weather's only going to get worse, and then I'm going to have to fork out for new tyres. Tyres are just one of those awkward, expensive things we all have to buy. We can't wear them down too much, and well, the second you buy new tyres, that means sensible driving from there on out. Until they wear down slightly, then handbrake turns are perfectly acceptable again. And on the topic of grip, that brings me to point number 3, and that's heel towing. Right, I love to heel tow, I'll do it till the cows come home. I try and do it in any possible situation, but the most fun heel towing, as we all know, is done when braking is at the last minute. You go from like, you go down 4, 3, 2 as quick as possible and braking as hard as you can. But of course, because we have very little grip going on, means we have to brake sooner, we have to watch out for the idiots on the road, and well, driving's just less fun in the winter. Number 4 I think is very accurately being demonstrated now by the sun, and that's, well, it sits very low all throughout the day, which means if you're not driving with sunglasses, you're more or less guessing where you're driving, which is, you know, even less fun because you have to drive even slower. But even if you've got sunglasses, it's still pretty hard, and then you still have to have that bloody visor down and you restrict your view. So thank you, sun, for being such a bitch. Last but not least is quite an important one. So now it is winter. We of course have cold, frosty mornings of about 0 or below here in the UK. And well, that means that the second you leave your house, you can't redline your car. Which it's very good practice to let your engine warm up, but in the cold it takes even longer. So as someone who absolutely itches to hit the red line, I have to wait, and I'm not one for waiting. And that's everything for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short and sweet video on everything us petrolheads hate about driving in the winter. I'll see you in the next video. As usual, please leave a like and subscribe. Cheers.